Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of PPR Esports. I'm your host, as always, Best Teo and NA, coming to you live this Tuesday evening from the circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, Canada. It's round 7 of 21 for the Division 1 series, and we have got a very, very tight championship battle starting for us tonight. The first act of the season is done. What will happen for the second 7 races? I am very excited to find out. I know you all are too. Here we go. I'll run you through everything now. Today I'll be racing at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, Canada. 35 laps, and it's going to be 14 turns, 8 to the right and 6 to the left. The lap record was set last year by Valtteri Bottas in the Mercedes at a 1:13 flat. There are 3 DRS zones, one between the low-speed chicane at 6 and 7 and the high-speed chicane of 8 and 9. Finally, there is the infamous DRS zone that goes into the Wall of Champions between turns 13 and 14, and then finally along the pit straight, another DRS zone leading into the sharp left-hander at turn 1. Running into the championship order now. I've now reordered it based on the constructor standings. We've got Williams sitting at the top with B-Dunk and Double OT. B-Dunk, best position, a P1 finish. Double OT, best finish, a 3. They're sitting at 1 and 8 in the championship, respectively. Tonight, we will not have... Oh, we will have Chandler Seda. It would appear he's made it. Sitting second in the championship right now, and his teammate, PPR Nick, in 13th. Their best finishes, a 1 and 4. Then we got the Toro Rosso team with Saxman and Brackish. Respectively, they are sitting 3rd and 7th in the individual championship. Best finishes both on the podium. Racing Point. We've got Andre Myrie and Ed Toronja. They're sitting in the top 10 as well. Best finishes being a podium. Behind them, we have the McLaren Renault team with Boss Cookie and Run the Jewels. Boss Cookie sitting P5, Run the Jewels sitting P16. Boss Cookie taking the opening victory of the year, and Run the Jewels taking a P8 as his season best. Alfa Romeo, we have Mr. Reimer and MRC Loki. Both drivers looking to get back on the wagon. Loki bringing up the rear in 17th, Reimer rounding out the top 10 there in P9. Finally, we have the bottom 3 teams, which ironically are the top 3 in real life. We have Mercedes with EGC Sparky and Jay Lee. Best finishes in the top 10. Unfortunately, Jay Lee has accrued enough penalty points to not start this evening's qualifying, so we will see him starting from the back of the grid if he so decides to race. Red Bull Racing Honda, Delirious Ramrod. Both drivers have shown up for damn near every race, netting an 8th and 7th respectively best. Moving on to Scuderia Ferrari, King Kirk 67, Caspita V1295, both finishing the top 10 at least once, but they are very far back in the championship, and I'm sure they would like to change that. Here we are, finally, the Rich Energy Haas F1 team rounding out the bottom. Sahara Borthwick. Sahara and Borthwick neither have made a big fit out of only starting in Shanghai for Sahara. Borthwick in Monaco, actually. Here's your Drivers' Championship. 1 point separating our championship leaders, B-Duck and Chandler Seda at the top. And there's a tight midfield battle running from about P6 down to P9. And then finally, a 3-point difference between P10 through P13. Jay Lee Bones, excuse me, had to use an X. I couldn't type the number 10, so I'd use the Roman numeral to sub. There was the bottom of your order. Qualifying is starting up on my opposite screen now. So let's go over there. Here's your constructor standings. Pretty fair separation at the moment. Red Bull and Mercedes close there in the middle. So we will have to see how that finishes. So we go live to the track now. Let's see how things are shaping up for our championship contenders. We go on board live now to MRC Loki on his flying lap here. Getting a bit of a tow from the Ferrari of King Kirk right there. Driver is going to be looking to find a balance between outright straight line speed and low-speed cornering as the track looks like a bit of an oval, kind of punctuated with these low-speed, medium-speed chicanes throughout. Only high-speed chicane really being the Wall of Champions, where you're flying in at about top speed, 8th gear, dropping it down into 3rd or 4th, trying not to cut it, just trying to stay out of the wall. Oh, we got Jay Lee retiring. No surprise there, as he was barred from participating in the session. Back on board with Loki here, flying into the wall shape. He's getting the DRS nice and open. Great traction out of the hairpin. Into the Wall Champions, dropping it down into 4th. Trying to carry that speed through there well, get the power down early, keeping it in 4th gear, 6th, 7th. He will do a 110.8. 110.8. Your time to beat right now, Chandler Seda with a 108.5 provisional pole sitter. Behind him, we have EGC Sparky with a 109.4. A very, very fast lap from the Mercedes driver. We've got Saxman on a flying lap right now. We'll go on board with him. The Toro Rosso team has been doing very well this season to be competitive. Certainly more competitive than I thought they would have been. This is coming from someone who did not watch last season at all. Flying through Sector 1, kissing all those apexes like he's a mayor running for a re-election campaign. Through the chicane, down to the first DRS zone. After the start-finish straight, getting all the way up into 7th. Turning in early there so we can get a good entry into the second part of that chicane there. Keeping it all the way up in 7th. Late on the brakes. Going a little deep on the hairpin there. Double OT doing his best to just stay off the racing line there. Saxman here running on the hard compound tire. Maybe just looking to get his car warmed up before he finally does a flying lap on some soft compound tires. Into the chicane, very well done. Tiny snap of oversteer there. No matter. Saxman will do a 110.7. 110.7. He'll put in P5. P5, and that's on the hard compound tire. Very, very good lap from the Toro Rosso driver. Very busy world of late in Formula One. Winter testing just finished up last week. IRL, and we also had Season 2 of Drive to Survive drop. So I know lots of F1 fans like myself out there are binging the show right now. I rather enjoyed quite a bit of this season. Season 1 actually got me into the sport. Season 2 really helped to carry forward a lot of those same storylines we saw previously. Riding on board with B-Dunk here now on his outlap. The championship leader at the very moment by a singular point. So the Williams and the Renault will likely be in a dogfight today. Very excited to see how this one plays out. Hopefully nothing reminiscent of the 2019 Canadian Grand Prix with somebody cutting a certain chicane at a certain turn in a certain Ferrari. But we will have to see. On board now. Not wanting to overheat the engine too much before his flying lap. Trying to get a good exit out of the chicane. You're taking it nice and slow. And here we go. Full racing speed. 7th gear. 8th gear. We'll keep it in 7th. Wow, braking down fast from 7th all the way down into 1st. Turn 4. Good not to take too much of that inside curb. Catch yourself a penalty if you dip even a fraction of that left-handed wheel onto there through the slow speed chicane before the DRS straight. Careful to stay out of the wall there. The car does like to get unstuck on the rear tires through there. Flying into the second chicane there, or rather third at this point, into the hairpin. Short shifting, get some good traction down. Down the first half of this pit straight. Where will he brake? Braking at the 50 board, turning in early, getting a great exit through there, carrying loads of speed on those soft tires. Through the finish line, B-Dunk taking pole. Dunk taking pole, the 1:08.2. 1:08.2. 3/10 faster than his championship rival. Wow, what a great way to start this qualifying session off. Some notable drivers. King Kirk having set a very good time of 1:09.6 earlier in the qualifying. Great to see the Ferrari driver bouncing back in the latter stages of this season. I shouldn't say latter, more like the midway point. Still rocking that fantastic purple and gold Kobe Bryant tribute helmet and the number 24 on his car. Mad respect, my man. Trying to get those softs nice and fired up before taking the long run down to the Wall of Champions. No one's been claimed by it yet. Still 9 minutes left in the session, though. Don't expect to see many people going wheel to wheel through there. Little traffic ahead. Shouldn't be too much of a problem for the Ferrari driver. That would be B-Dunk on his in-lap. Good to stay out of the way there. Into the chicane. Good exit there for the Ferrari. Dropping his right wheel onto the grass there. No worries. Keeping it in second. Through turn 2. Into the first chicane. That esports line. People love to take that left front over the grass. Breaking it about the 50 board, turning in. Looking to use the camber of the road to your advantage there. Oh, a bit of a snap of oversteer, and that will be an aborted lap. Curse of the commentator there, folks. I'll have to apologize for that one. It's always just that, it's that left-right, and you just get on the gas a touch too early, and the car wants to become completely unsettled. It really shows just how sensitive the aerodynamics on these 2019 spec cars really are. Going on board now with Brackish and Saxman, both on their outlap. Saxman still running those hard compound, and so is Brackish. Going for the overcut strategy here, perhaps a one-stopper. Finishing on the mediums, probably pitting around lap 17, 18. Maybe even later if they can stretch them out with a good qualifying position. Cheesy Train running on the mediums here. Cheesy Train coming in relief tonight for Boss Cookie, it would seem. Opting for the balanced tire compound. I found that the one stopper on this track is very difficult to pull off. Lots of those low-speed traction zones tend to eat up the tires a lot, as well as trying to get it through the chicane without too much hassle. 108 flat for Chandler Sater, retaking his provisional pole. On board with Cheesy Train now. that McLaren looking very planted into turn 1, keeping it in second gear through turn 2. Up into third, short shift, get the traction down, past the little Alfa Romeo there, no problem. Into the downhill chicane. Braking early there. Left wheel over the grass, of course. Flying in. First low-speed chicane, braking right before the 50 board. Looking to short shift through there. Trying to find the traction. Andre Myrie doing well to stay out of the way there. Into the third high-speed, low-speed chicane, whatever you want to call it. Ooh, little unbalanced through there, but he's recovered well, taking an outside run here into the hairpin. Braking right before the 50. Touch deep there, but he's seems going to get a better exit. Getting the DRS nice and wide open. Coming up to the chicane. Gonna want to shift one more time there, buddy. We're missing a gear. And he's completely cut it, it seems. We'll see if the game gives it to him. No, they won't. That'll be a disallowed lap there for Cheesy Train. Delirious on an outlap right now. Red Bull's still been consistent, but they're trying to find their pace now as the second act of this season really gets underway. Look for them to make some serious gains in this Canadian Grand Prix. little early on the brakes there, looking for a good exit. Finding the traction into the right-hander. Letting that engine rev very high. Activating the Honda Beat. Towards the hairpin. Will he put it up into 8th? Yes, he will, just for only a second. A little deep there. He's done well to recover from that. Getting the power down for the back straight here. Front straight, it's all the same. Towards turn 13. Ooh, and he's just so done it. Let's see where he will come out. That'll be a 109.2. 109.2 for Delirious. A very, very good flying lap from him. They'll put him P5 and a third row start. Very good lap from the Red Bull driver. And back on with our second place in the championship, Chandler Seda, who's been on fire so far this season. Locked already in a qualifying chess match with his championship rival B-Dunk. Only 2/10 separate the two drivers. Such a great narrative building between these two. Chandler, who, for those of you who joined us for the Baku race, had some reliability issues with his wheel, unfortunately becoming disconnected during the race when he was in the lead, costing him what would have been a walk-off victory. B-Dunk, who has been pretty much punching up all year, trying to defend his title, sitting only 1 point behind the championship leader, so bit of a grudge match to form between these two. We go on board with Chandler Seda now. Shifting into 5th, into 3rd. Ooh, getting a little out of shape there, a little bit of oversteer, and he will abort that lap. That will do it for the Renault. Already knowing that any chance of clamoring back those crucial tenths, not really worth it. Saxman on an outlap now. Going to let the Alfa Romeo of Reimer by there on his flying lap. That's going to be an end plate of the Alfa Romeo there, taking a little damage on the flying lap. Only a 110.3 for him. A little late on the apex there, no matter. Good to find the traction out of there. Great, powers down, get the DRS open. Flying down the back DRS zone, late on the brakes, into the high-speed chicane. Great, well planted through there. That Toro Rosso looking very pacey. And a purple sector for Brackish through Sector 2 into Sector 3. Andre Myrie retiring from the session. He was fastest time only being a 109.8. VTEC kicked in, yo. Turn 13. Turning in a little early. Oh, just keeping enough of that left wheel on the track so he doesn't get it disqualified. And that'll put him P5. P5. An excellent lap there from Toro Rosso of Saxman. Very, very pacey lap. B-Dunk on another outlap here. Perhaps looking to upset his championship rival for pole position in the closing stages of this qualifying. Chandler Seda opting to not go out for a final flyer, unfortunately. We'll have to ride on board with B-Dunk, see how he does. Perhaps a late challenge from EGC Sparky? We'll have to wait and see. And it also looks like B-Dunk will be getting a nice tow from... Oh, he will not be getting a tow from the Toro Rosso. We got a yellow flag. It's just cars going, so excuse me. Chandler Seda is retired from the session. All right. Here we go now with championship rival B-Dunk. Trying to find 2/10 on this flying lap into turn one. Getting that car revving nice and high. Lay it on the brakes there. Bringing it down first and up into third. Pretty phenomenal stuff from these drivers who really do race at a higher level. Oh, and he's deleted his own lap time. He took a little too much of that inside curb, which will be trouble during the race. Speaking from experience, it's cost me many a good finish in my career mode. Very unfortunate. That will do it for B-Dunk. Sparky on a flyer here. Late on the brakes there. Keeping it. Ooh, a little squirrely there, no matter. Into the hairpin. And a purple sector two. Late on the brakes. Not going too deep, but beautifully done. Finding that apex so well. Get the DRS nice and open. I like to take that inside line there as well. Find it gives me the best shot down towards 13. And he's cut the chicane completely. And he's all out of shape. He spun it on the pit straight. Well, there you have it, folks. With EGC's spin and a deleted lap time, your top three runners will be Chandler Seda, B-Dunk, and EGC Sparky in P1, 2, and 3, respectively. Behind them is PPR Nick, Saxman, and I'll have to finish that segment later. Well, there you have it, folks. We've got, rounding out the top five there, is Saxman. Behind him is Delirious, Errol Brackish, Double OT, King Kirk, Andre Myrie. That is your points paying positions off the line. Behind them, we have Reimer, Cheesy Train, and Jay Lee Bones, of course, who was not allowed to participate in qualifying. It is now time for the formation lap. Eager to see what happens. We may have a internet issue here. I am currently getting the Wheel of Death from Codemasters. We will have to check on this, folks. I will be back in just a moment as we take a break for technical issues. Ah, there we go. And we are back live from Montreal. Chandler Seda looking to get around that first turn out of the way of everyone. Get those tires nice and fired up with a big braking zone like that one. So to round out your order once more, you've got Chandler Seda and B-Dunk championship rivals, both starting front row on the same tire. You love to see it. The only cars really opting for any one-stop strategy perhaps might be Saxman, Brackish, Double OT, Andre Myrie, Loki, Cheesy Train, and then Jay Lee bringing up the rear. Strange to opt for the medium there instead of going for the hard, which would, well, it might be slow on pace, but it would definitely give him a better track position on what is a very, very short lap. Drivers doing everything they can to get those tires nice and warmed up, especially the fronts. Flipping the brake biases back and forth, I am sure of it. Great to see Sparky starting way up the order here. Cars reforming the grid right now as we get ready to launch off here. We've seen great racing all year. Here's another great addition in Montreal. It is lights out, and we are underway here from Canada. All the drivers so far getting away very cleanly. Chandler Seda trying to push B-Dunk maybe off the start there. B-Dunk trying to come around the inside, and he's taking the lead off the start there. The Renault in second, followed by the Mercedes of EGC Sparky in third, followed by PPR Nick Reimer up to ninth there off the line. Drivers all keeping it very tidy there into the first sector. Very well done from the field. Oh, Chandler Seda, he spun! He spun on the opening lap through that second chicane, and he's dropping down the order. He is in P14. He will need to pit probably for a new wing after that. Surprised there's no safety car quite yet. B-Dunk flying away with this one, with Sparky in second. Saxman now finds himself fighting for a podium position in P3 with Nick close on the hunt in P4, hoping to resurrect some points for the Renault team. The Williams of Double OT just getting by Delirious there. Here we go, following the Mercedes of EGC, Sparky and Saxman down the back here. Saxman having a look up the inside, and he looks like he's got the move done on those mediums. Oh, and that Mercedes is into the pits. There'll likely be a warning for the Toro Rosso driver. B-Dunk with the fastest lap so far of a 1:16.0. 1:16.0. Chandler Seda not opting to pit, instead to stay out on those softs. EGC going onto the hard compound tire. That will promote Saxman and Nick into second and third respectively, followed by Double OT and Delirious in P4 and P5. And Nick has completely cut the chicane there. That will likely be a trip up to the stewards, doing his best Sebastian Vettel impression. Two halves of the pack here. Nick leading this little consortium of four cars. Slipstream being very crucial at a track like this. No one really wanting to get out of it and risk falling prey to your victims behind. Got a yellow flag in Sector 2. That's the McLaren of Cheesy Train going slowly. Brackish up the inside of Delirious there, trying to fend off those Ferraris. Double OT right on the rear of Nick there. Very cheeky with that turn into the chicane there. I'm going to have to use that line during my race on Friday. DRS is now enabled. We're into lap 3 of this race. Loads of action going on behind us. Riding on board now with Brackish bringing up this very busy train. Jaylee Bones already up 5 positions from P14 on the grid. He is very much in this fight. He is not down and he is not out. Close intervals all around the track. Reimer trying to have a look up the inside of Delirious there. Delirious having to cut the chicane. He will have to concede that position. But that will send him straight into the jaws of King Kirk. Late on the brakes into the hairpin, leaving enough room for the Red Bull. Well done. He will have the exit there, though. Reimer and Nick upset, jockeying for some kind of position, trying to look for that slipstream of double OT. Nick sliding in behind Reimer. Both DRSs wide open. No one looking to break later. Nick into the pits very early. Only 4 laps in. That will promote all the runners here up a position. Brackish into the pits as well on those mediums. Cheesy Train being served a 3-second time penalty for warnings. And we've got a lot of cars stopped at the back there. That looks to be... Excuse me, that's the pit straight. And we got a VSC, our first VSC of the race. Curious if double OT... What? Excuse me, not even double OT. I got the map all screwed up here. You'll have to forgive me at home, ladies and gentlemen. This will create a little field spread. VSC still active. Most of our runners have switched to the medium tire. Double OT being served a 3-second time penalty. And the field is bunching up back here at the moment. Double OT leading Reimer, leading King Kirk, leading Delirious. So back in the field, we've got Loki having a look at J. Lee Bowens for the moment. Behind Loki, we have Andre Myrie. And then from there, it drops off into the backpack, led by Cheesy Train, and then Sparky, Nick, and Brackish. Chandler Seda already back up to P7 after all the carnage that's ensued on these opening laps. Delirious getting a little out of shape there through the chicane, and that is Chandler Seda having a look up the back of that Red Bull. Oh, thought about up the inside. He thought better. Staying right on that rear wing, though. RJ Myrie getting the move done on Loki. Yellow flags in Sector 3. Reimer looking to have a move at double OT. Most of these drivers trying to find a rhythm right now. Start thinking about tire life, fuel. Cheesy Train retired from the race. He's retired on track, it would seem. DNF, that would be a crash. They have lost it into the barrier there. Oh, Reimer flying past the Williams there. And cutting the chicane and earning himself a 3-second time penalty. Not ideal. Expect a lot of that today. These track limits are touchy, touchy, touchy. Record of that McLaren has been cleared. We are very much A-OK to continue full speed now. Double OT already back on Reimer. Jay Lee up on Andre Myrie there. Both running the medium striped tire. Saxman looking to inherit the lead of this race at some point. Riding on board with Delirious now. Oof. Red Bull not looking very sticky through that chicane. Chandler Seda already having a hell of a recovery drive. Now up to P6. Just trying to get back into the podium paying positions at this point. Only 5/10 back on the Ferrari of King Kirk. Right on his tail, looking to maybe get in the action here. With DRS assistance, this shouldn't be any trouble for him at all. Kirk going defensive a little bit. Chandler trying to fake one up the inside. Won't be happening there. Into the pits. Sold him, tried to sell him the dummy. Wasn't going. Chandler Seda thinking about that undercut, perhaps. Those soft runners will have to come in soon here. And field spread has taken hold. There you have it. 7 laps in, lots and lots to digest. Chandler Seda doing well to stay out of the way of his teammate there, trying to chase down Sparky. Got Loki creeping up on this train here of Andre Myrie, Jay Lee, and Delirious. Running those medium striped tires, all 3 cars on the same compound. Still within that DRS of the Racing Point ahead. Likely receiving a warning for track limits there. Chandler Seda already passed his teammate. Little team orders there from Cyril, trying to get his drivers into a better position. Close battle up ahead between the two Mercedes-powered cars. Andre Myrie and Jay Lee. E-Gang. Or if you're Robert Kubica. Oof. That dirty air can be a BIT double hockey stick. Bickle. That's right. Ooh, a little late there, going a touch deep. Good recovery by Andre. Still staying within 1 second of the car ahead. Likely will pip him on this next lap. Ooh, good line through the hairpin there. Who's going to have the better exit? Looks like Jay Lee's got the traction down well. DRS assistance. Jay Lee going defensive. Andre will say, thanks, but no thanks. I'll have the inside, then the outside. Covering that inside line. He will go right through. And we've got Delirious into the pits. King Kirk into the pits. Those soft runners already having to come in. Chandler Seda getting the undercut. Very well done. He will come out just in front of those guys, it would seem. We've got a long way to go here. Chandler Seda with the new fastest lap, 1:12 flat. Ooh, he had a look. Nothing really going there. Loki is flying, though. We'll take the outside line through there. The Mercedes will go defensive. Let's see. Leaves him some room. Ooh, a little wheel banging there from the Mercedes driver. Let that Alfa Romeo know who's boss. EGC Sparky being served a penalty. Loki getting a good run out of there. Ooh, Jay Lee getting a little argy-bargy. No matter. Loki will take the position. Jay Lee will have to concede to that one. No, nothing really going for defense there. That's B-Dunk coming out of the pits on our left there as the Alfa Romeo tries to chase down Andre Myrie. B-Dunk coming out in P4 on 10-lap fresher tires. Saxman, Reimer, and Double OT are your podium paying positions at the moment. We've got King Kirk on fresh tires looking to perhaps tangle with PPR Nick here at the moment. A little deep through the chicane there, maybe not getting his braking right. Good traction out of there, though. King Kirk, hot on his tail. France versus Italy. Classic heavyweight bout of European powerhouses. Renault will have it covered through the hairpin, but I would have to bet that the Ferrari will have him on the next straight. Let's see, does he have that DRS? Yes, he does. On board with him now. Reimer into the pits. Up the inside. Holding his line. Ooh, and the Renault just gets ahead. Nick not giving any quarter there. King Kirk losing loads of momentum. Chandler Seda back into the pits already. Going on to another set of mediums. And a wing change. Ah. Quite the recovery race for the championship contender right now. Back on with King Kirk. Chandler Seda going to have to make up about 48 seconds. Oh, and that's the Renault. He spun. The Renault of Nick has spun. As he got going again. No damage at the rear, it would appear. Let's have a look at the front of that car. Saxman being served a penalty there for multiple warnings. Okay, we could get off that camera. Oh, he's kept the car intact. Well done. What a twist of events. Both Renaults running P12 and 13 respectively. B-Dunk with the new fastest lap, 1:11.6. He is flying at the moment. Reimer on some fresh softs, looking to do the two-stopper. Maybe go on to the hards after this one, but those softs are very pacey around this very, very chicaney track. Delirious, very close to King Kirk now, through turn 1. King Kirk going defensive before the downhill chicane, braking early. Delirious getting a far better run through there. Will he have a look up the inside at the next chicane? No, he won't. He will think, I'll let the DRS do it. No need to risk it through there. Great exit. Similarly matched tires in the slipstream. King Kirk still just staying ahead. There we go now. Wheel to wheel into the hairpin. Delirious just trying to get alongside around the outside. Maybe looking for the switchback here. Ooh, almost. He's got the traction down though. That Ferrari looking mighty sluggish at the moment. DRS open. Looking around the outside like a trailer park girl. That's a Ferrari in his rearview mirrors. The move is done. The deed is done through the wall of champions. That's a position for Delirious there. We got Double OT into the pit. We got J. Lee Bowens into the pit. Going under the medium striped tire. Brackish now having a look at the Ferrari at King Kirk. Where has his pace gone? Maybe a technical issue? Nick being served a 3-second time penalty there. And we got a little carnage up ahead. That's Delirious going very slowly. We're going 4 abreast into the chicane. That's a little wheel banging there. What is going on? Hell's bells. There are cars all over the track at the moment, looking a bit like a Walmart parking lot. Ooh, Brackish having to move. Sparky's going to have to cut the chicane. We'll have to give that position up for gaining an advantage. Letting Brackish get ahead of him. We got 3 cars up ahead, fighting through the hairpin. Double OT, King Kirk, flying down to turn 13 here. Who will come out on top of this little tasty trio between the Williams, the Ferrari, and the Red Bull? Ferrari's come out in front. The Red Bull having a dive up the inside, late on the brakes. Will he make it stick? No, he won't. Not quite enough momentum there to get the move done. It would also seem he's missing an end plate there. Very tasty 3-way battle here in the midfield. King Kirk leading it at the moment, followed by Double OT and Delirious. EGC Sparky into the pits at the end of that lap. Lots of mixed strategies at the moment. Not many teams looking to split their strategies. Double OT opening the door and then promptly shutting it. Delirious getting a much better run through the chicane there. Oh, a little snap of oversteer. He's done well to recover it. That fuel load sloshing around in the tank, sometimes getting your car unstuck from the tarmac. Double OT getting a very poor run through there. Side by side, we're going 2 abreast into the hairpin. Ooh, he's going a little defensive there. Looking for the cutback. Andre Maire being served a 3-second time penalty. Is the VTEC kicked in? It has. Ooh. Nice little shimmy shang into turn 13. Lots of great wheel-to-wheel battling happening out here. Double OT being served another penalty there, giving now Delirious a 3-second lead on his cohort there. Now looking to close up on the Ferrari. Only 8 tenths back. Chandler Seda now up to P10. P10 after 2 stops in this race already. EGC Sparky also on a 2-stop. Mercedes drivers rounding out the back of the field there. Gap to leader, 36 seconds. Quite a mountain to climb for the Renault. Stay on board with the Red Bull here. Toro Rosso bringing up the rear of this foursome on those hard tires. It's kind of a bit offset on strategy right now, not really in the window he wants to be in. Delirious getting the DRS open. Can he close up to the Ferrari here? No, it's just not enough momentum through there, and he will have to follow him through to the next DRS zone, grazing the wall of champions there. Having a look. He's close. Is he going to go up the inside? He is. Oh, he's thought better of it. He's late on the brakes, but he's right on the gearbox of that Ferrari. J. Lee Bones being served a penalty, and we've got yellow flags in Sector 3. Delirious rocking that Verstappen-looking helmet. Very, very shiny stuff. Into the chicane. Let's see who's got the better exit through there. He's got the DRS. King Kirk going defensive. Covering the middle of the track. Ooh, Delirious. He's right on him. Sparky being served a time penalty. Excuse me. Delirious looking to get a good run through here. The Ferrari driver just parking it a little out to the right, trying to slow down Delirious's run, if at all, any. Delirious is going to take the outside line through there. King Kirk going defensive, and he's got the move done. That is Delirious up into P6. P6, what a great result for the Red Bull. Ooh, the Williams and the Ferrari getting a little chippy through the chicane there. And that's a Toro Rosso, a Brackish right on him. Double OT having a look. Oh, there's a little wheel pinging, and he's spun out. Ferrari coming right back at him. Wow. Nick being served a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Things are getting all kinds of chippy back here at the moment for these two drivers. King Kirk, double OT, not showing any space or any quarter here. Ooh! King Kirk driving a little angry there deep in the chicane, trying to outbrake his teammate. Chandler Seda will say thank you very much, and he'll move up into P8. Flying now on those mediums. He's got them nice and switched on. The car is fired up here. Brackish getting a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Saxman into the pits there. Chandler getting a better line through the hairpin. Double OT just covering off the exit. Chandler will have the DRS here. And it will also seem he's got the speed. Double OT going to try to go defensive. Will Chandler be late on the brakes? No, he'll think better of it. Ooh, Double OT getting a very bad exit through there. No speed whatsoever. Easy pickings for the Renault. Through, up into P7. Ooh, Williams tries to hold it down the inside. Chandler, can he get the move done? Yes, he's got it done. That Williams still right in his blind spot. And he's back ahead. Oh, he's cut across. He's had to cut the chicane. Oh, that'll go up to the stewards, surely. Double OT getting all out of shape through there. Renault and Chandler getting a great run through there. DRS open yet again. He'll have the inside line. The Williams won't be able to do much about that. Late on the brakes. Thank you very much. I will see you never. Smell you later, Double OT. That's what Chandler's probably saying in that cockpit. And we got Saxman now closing up on Andre Myrie on those red striped softs. Flying through the pack now. Myrie just staying out of the way, not wanting to get into a dogfight with him on those very worn medium tires. Likely having to pit soon. Last of that early medium running for sure for the Racing Point driver. Saxman already pulling away. No surprise there. Loki trying to take advantage of all this infighting up ahead. Running those 2-lap-old hards. Just trying to stay on the track. Loads of penalties been flying around this race as well, so perhaps someone's current position may not be their finishing position. Loki himself said in a pre-race interview he's looking to improve. Well, I'd say P9 right now running on those hards. I'd say that's a very, very good improvement for the Alfa Romeo driver. the DRS here, just a little outside the range. We had a little pre-race paddock pass. A few of the drivers took part in. We talked to Loki, Ken Kirk, B-Dunk, Chandler, and Double OT. B-Dunk definitely feeling the heat a little bit, said himself that Boss Cookie Chandler definitely his biggest rivals so far in this season. And a lot of the drivers had some mixed responses when it came to the coronavirus. Double OT being served a 3-second time penalty there. A lot of drivers having opinions ranging from coronavirus being affecting more of the season. PPR Nick getting a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting, and that will be a retirement for the Renault driver, who looks like he's stopped there. And that's a VSC here. Let's see what happened. Gotten by him. VSC. I'll bunch up the pack a little bit here. Andre Myrie trying to take advantage of that slowed field pace, get into the pits here, get off those dead mediums. Still not quite at racing speeds yet. Brackish getting a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pits. Delirious into the pits. Chandler into the pits. Only 12 cars still running in this race. Chandler down to P11. He will be sniffing those points. And we are back to racing speed now, folks. Jay Lee trying to close up on Loki here. Getting real personal with the wall there. Jay Lee will need to make these tires go quite a while before he pits again, if at all he pits again. Otherwise, he'll be running on ice skates at the end of this session. Your order so far, after the last VSC, we've got B-Dunk P1, followed by Mr. Reimer in P2, Saxman P3, Andre Myrie P4, Double OT P5, Loki P6, Jay Lee Bowens, who we're on board with right now, in P7. Then EGC Sparky right behind him. Loki having to cut the chicane there, just trying to stay in the fight with Double OT. Finally, rounding out the rest of your points paying positions are ARL, Brackish, and Delirious. And you got your championship runner-ups, provisional runner-up right now, Chandler Seda, P11, Kinkirk, right outside the points. Only 13 laps to go. Those medium tires will probably finish the race as well as the hards. B-Dunk on fresh medium tires, still with a 3-second lead to burn. This right now is the closest train. Got Loki on Double OT. Double OT, whose mediums will, without a doubt, be compromised as this race goes on. Just not quite being able to close up on the Williams down the straight there. Jay Lee Bones getting a time penalty there. Racing against himself, it would seem. Ooh! Loki having to think. Double OT just making him think twice. Jay Lee Bones right on his tail. Looking for a way past the Alpha. We've got dirt flying up in the air. It's having a look. Nothing really going. Good exit through there. They've all got the DRS. Loki going defensive. Again, back to the inside. Going to try to hold that line. Jay Lee will go through there. Looks like contact-free as well, though we can't see Loki's on board. Sparky being served another time penalty. B-Dunk with the new fastest lap, 1:10.8. Jay Lee switching back to the outside line there. Oh, and he will bump him. Oh, no. A very aggressive move from the Mercedes there. And he's pushed Loki into the runoff area. That will definitely be a trip up to the stewards for the Mercedes driver and a potential race ban, depending what happens there. Double OT into the pits, getting a wing change and those softs. Loki being dropped down to P9. He was running so well, too. Such a shame for the German driver. For those of you who are just joining us for the first time tonight, this is PPR Esports, brought to you by myself, Best Teon, your host. If you'd like to join us for any more racing action throughout the week, we have a great slate. Earlier today, we had the Xbox Division 2 race, and last night we had the PC Division 1. Tomorrow night, we'll have the PC Division 2, and then finally on Friday, we'll have Xbox Division 3, which I race in. So if you want to come out and see the Silver Arrows challenge for midfield supremacy, I'm your guy. Until then, though, we're going to be focusing on this race today, the Xbox Division 1 race, Round 7, here in Canada. That's going to be a little front wing damage for Brackish there. He's keeping pace with Delirious ahead pretty well, both on those evenly matched medium tires. Sparky and Jay Lee on those old mediums who will be in a world of hurt come the later stages of this race. Jay Lee into the pits, perhaps sensing a plot is afoot. He will come out in P9. B-Dunk still out in front with a 3-second lead. Jay Lee coming out in P11, and he's fitted the hards to finish this race. A very, very curious decision. Perhaps he's got no sets of mediums left to make it to the end. Very unfortunate. Could even make an argument a fresh pair of softs could get you to the end at this point, but that would be quite the stretch of the imagination. Double OT, though, on those softs, closing right up to King Kirk, trying to scrounge out a few more points for the Williams team. Let's see, keeps it nice and tidy through the hairpin. King Kirk on those slightly worn hards, though. Not that old, if you consider the compound. Double OT got the DRS here. King Kirk not going to go defensive. Probably let that one go, considering he is on those very fresh, soft tires. No point in getting in a fight you won't win. And that is double OT through, up into P9. Now just trying to chase down Loki in the closing stages of this race. You can just actually just see the Alfa Romeo out of frame there. The chase is very much on here, and that's the Red Bull of Delirious trying to close up on Sparky right now. Sparky with a mountain of penalties, it would seem, from earlier in this race. Delirious probably just going to want to stay within that maybe 6 to 9 second window if he can afford it. Those medium tires will have to make it to the end for him. Take a look at his telemetry here, see what he's working with. Keeping that battery nice and charged up. Got it up into overtake. Good run through there. Keeping the revs nice and high, not wanting to let the engine have any seconds to breathe. It's closing up now, it would seem here. Sparky running very, very slow. Those tires are a factor of 2 older than Delirious is. So in theory, Delirious should have double the velocity. Obviously, that's not how that works, but it's a nice thought. It's also nice to know I can still do fractions. Good run through there. Sparky just trying to break that slipstream. Lunging over to the right, back to the left, taking the racing line. But Delirious will close up on him. Surely, oh, and Sparky's in the wall. The Mercedes driver's in the wall. We got yellow flags. Sector 2 and 3. He seems he's done the job for Delirious. I'll put Delirious into P5, who's on for a sensational result today in that Honda-powered Red Bull. The VTEC has well and truly kicked in. Honda Beat has been activated. Yellow flags in Sector 3. That looks to be Sparky just trying to stay out of the way of everyone right now. Double OT in a drag race with about half a Mercedes flying into the pits in front of the... Wow. Brackish 3-second time penalty there. As I said, folks, those soft stripe tires will be quick at the end of the race here, and he has now closed that 4-second gap to the Alfa Romeo ahead. Only 1.3 seconds to go. We got a full course safety. Full course safety. That would appear to be Chandler Seda out of the race. Chandler Seda into the barrier. Very unfortunate. That will definitely drop him back. J. Lee Bones being served a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. Nothing really going his way today. He was on for a sensational result after working his way back from P14 to P9. B-Dunk probably smiling to himself. The rest of his Williams teammates celebrating on the pit wall for sure. As everyone tries to catch the safety car, we could be in for a very Brazil-esque situation here at the very, very end of this race. A lot of cars going into the pits trying to get those softs on for one last crazy, crazy run at the points here. Oh man, pandemonium should be on the books for us today here. Quick wing change there and serving his penalty, it would seem, as well. Loki will jump Brackish in the pits. Mr. Reimer stuck on those 10-lap old softs. Already up in the safety car queue. Of course, everyone will want to close up now. Closing stages of this race. Expect to see a lot of these. Oh, well, there you have it, folks. We've got J. Lee Bowens DNF'd. But now we've got all 10 cars. Only 10 cars running, so everyone's in the points. Congratulations, Division 1. Hats off to all of you. Points finishes for everyone, barring any DNFs. So far, so good, though. Safety car still out. He'll be out for 5 minutes. Definitely possible we will only see about 2 laps of this race under racing conditions. It's been a very good one so far. Reimer diving in, realizing those softs will not get him to the end. Alfa Romeo pit crew scrambling out there. Get him a little love. Pack bunching up right now. Reimer's going to come out on the medium striped tire with only 5 laps to go. Do what you got to do, I suppose. Fresh pair of boots is a fresh pair of boots. Your order under safety car is, so far, B-Dunk, Saxman, Andre Myrie rounding out your podium paying positions. Behind them, we have Double OT, Delirious, and Reimer. Finally, rounding out the rest of the points paying positions here is Loki, Sparky, King Kirk, and Brackish in P10. Expect a B-Dunk to back up the pack here in a few laps' time. Everyone's going to be just trying to get those tires warm. We're on for a straight sprint to the finish, though, and I, for one, am so excited to see how this goes. Oh. Those of you at home who've had a chance to watch Drive to Survive or watched F1 at all last year, if you remember Brazil, that's all I really got to say. Cannot wait to see how this finishes. Championship order. Unfortunately, I don't have the resources to do a live championship standings for you, but B-Dunk will definitely take a very large lead with only with 1/3 of the season done here. Safety car's in this lap. Just trying to back the pack up here. Remember, no one's allowed to overtake yet, not until the timing line. Expect to see B-Dunk slam on the brakes before the Wall of Champions, just so he can give himself a nice cushion and try to run away with this one as the chaos ensues behind him. And we're back underway here. And we are on. Green flags, green flags. Back underway here in Canada, and the pack is bunched up. So far, nothing quite happening. Ooh, a little lock up there from Saxman. Andre Myrie right on his gearbox, looking to get in on the action. Everyone keeping it clean through Sector 1. No flags, no carnage yet. Riding back here with the rest of the field. Delirious right in the back of Double OT there. Double OT running on those old softs. Likely be no match for these fresh pair of shoes. Sparky getting a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Only 4 laps to go. Reimer on the mediums here, just trying to stay in the picture. Very close battle up at the fire. Sparky getting the move done on Loki. You will have to get your overtakes done the old-fashioned way, folks. No DRS yet for another 2 laps. A little lock up there on the front right. Double OT covering off that exit. But Delirious still in that slipstream, trying to get back into it now. He's got that battery turned up to 4. It's not going to be enough. Double OT is probably going to stay ahead. Delirious having a look, hoping Double OT maybe gives him a little more slipstream. Running straight through the chicane. B-Dunk with the fastest lap, 1:10.3, 1:10.3. Lots of action here on the closing stages of this Canadian Grand Prix. Double OT going defensive there through the chicane. Into the second chicane here. Ooh, Red Bull going a touch deep. Can he find the exit though? Not quite. Double OT is going to just pull out a couple of tenths there. Going to look to get Delirious out of his DRS before the next lap around. Oh! And that's the Red Bull getting all out of shape there. Reimer will say, see, you wouldn't want to be up into P5 on those yellow striped tires. Definitely going to be happy about that one. And that Red Bull is all out of shape now through the hairpin. Saxman now closing up on our race leader. Sparky only 3/10 back on Reimer. King Kirk only at 1 corner behind Loki and Brackish bringing up the rear, and he's into the pits. 2 laps to go. All to play for here in Montreal. Keeping that battery nice and turned up. Who will find the exit through here? Saxman doing his best to come to terms with all that dirty air being thrown off of the Williams. B-Dunk keeping him just inside his DRS, but just far enough back where any kind of lunge would be a very, very aggressive one at that. Saxman closing right up there. Almost missing a gear out of the exit, though, it would seem. B-Dunk trying to break the slipstream. DRS is open. Here we go. Can Saxman make up any of the difference here? No, he won't. Through the chicane. Kept it clean through there. Cars are going to be running on empty in 1 lap time. We are damn near back on qualifying speeds. Low fuel loads. Cars are going to feel nice and feathery. Gap's now down to 5/10 from 7/10. Saxman trying to close up. Both those tires, same stages of life. Toro Rosso here, damn near taking every line tit for tat with the Williams. B-Dunk now has got about 8/10 gap. Saxman just trying desperately to stay within that DRS. Would make up a little bit of time here. 7/10. Can he get down to 6? Yes, he will. Down to 5/10 almost. 4/10. Good exit through there. B-Dunk just trying to find any way to stay in front of his opponent right at the moment. Into the hairpin, late on the brakes. Oh, he's going to have a bit of a lockup from both drivers. This is a great battle, a great way to finish this race here in Canada. Good exit there from Saxman. 1 lap to go. It's all here, folks. It's all happening here in Canada. Reimer closing up on Double OT. He will likely get that move done. Through the chicane, Reimer has got the move done. Great result so far for the German. Can he keep this up? Sparky being served with a 3-second time penalty. B-Dunk's just staying right in front of Saxman there. Oh, into turn 2. It's gearbox to front wing. It is butt to tip. We are keeping this one as close as possible. Into the chicane. Sparky getting a 10-second time penalty for corner car. We got yellow flags in Sector 1. All kinds of contact happening at the back of the pack here. And that is the Williams. The Williams going slow on the track there, it would seem. Staying on board right now with the second place car is Saxman, trying to make a move with the race leader. Into the hairpin. He's got to make it up here. It's all now, folks. Rich mix. Sparky's retired. Oh, and he's right there. Who's going to have the better exit? He's dropped it down to neutral. Has that cost him time? Let's hope not. Brackish getting a 3-second time penalty. It's all here. DRS is going to be open. Overtake engaged. B-Dunk's just a little bit out in front. Will we see a last desperate lunge from Saxman into the wall of champions? It's not to be. He's right there, though. Drag race to the finish. B-Dunk, Saxman, who's got it? He's in the slipstream. We're almost side by side, and he's just got it done. What a finish. What a finish here. Hats off to the Williams and Toro Rosso drivers. What a way to finish this race in style. Delirious covering off King Kirk there. Loki coming home to finish P6, Reimer P4. Great result for the Alfa Romeo boys today. Double OT and Brackish rounding out the field in P8 and 9. Your retirements are Sparky, Jay Lee, Chandler Seda, PPR Nick, and Cheesy Train. Very unfortunate double retirement there for the Renault team and the Silver Arrows. But there you have it, folks. B-Dunk, Saxman, Andre Myrie are your podium-paying positions, followed by Reimer, King Kirk, Loki, and then your final three, Delirious, Double OT, and Brackish. What a way to finish a Grand Prix here in Canada. Wow, I am out of breath. We'll go to the podiums now. B-Dunk taking a commanding lead in the championship with 26 points under his belt after this one. They will be celebrating back at the Williams factory this week, that is for sure. Great P2 and P3 there from the Toro Rosso and the Racing Points. I believe that's Andre Myrie and Saxman? Yeah, we'll see in a second. Yes, it is. Andre Myrie, P3, Saxman, P2. Well, folks, loads of penalties being handed out. Nothing to worry about there. Great race here from Canada. I'm your host, Besteon. As always, thank you for joining us. Fantastic race. I can't stop saying that. So much fun to do this every week. I will be back next week. We head to Austria at Spielberg. The Red Bull, or excuse me, that's 2 weeks. I'm sorry. We'll be at Paul Ricard next week, so I hope you've got your 3D glasses because that sucker will be popping off your screens. As always, I'm your host, Besteon, and you stay classy.